Okay, so this is um, ideally a pretty quick introduction to the 15-acre tract. Um, we started doing these as time permits because it does seem pretty helpful to really show how the property is situated. But anyway, this tract right in the middle of your screen here, outlined in red, that's the gravel easement road in yellow. And I don't know if we're going to include this with the drone video or with the ground video, but basically for the ground video, we drove on in, we parked here toward the southwest side, and we walked back to the pond. We checked that out. And the drone video, I think we left the truck parked there because we usually do the drone video and the ground video at basically the same time, one after the other. So we launched the drone, we check out the pond, and I think we fly over to the north side and turn south. But as far as the logging, this area that you see here, this is a winter time aerial, which works pretty well. But this area was where you find some heavy logging. This north part has a good area of pretty good timber. And then all these cedar trees basically are still here, and there's some timber here. But you can see the pond. Let's switch to the topo map. That's pretty handy too. There we go. Okay, so this white area indicates that at one time it was meadow from whenever these topo maps were made, maybe the 50s, I'm not sure. But this would have been all meadow, and actually it holds fairly true. This area here is still either meadow or could be easily cleared for meadow with the cedar trees out. You can see the pond, obviously. This is indicating it slopes down. This would be the lowest part of the property, and actually on the topo it shows this little creek bed, which would be kind of a wet weather creek bed, and then rises up on the north side here. So let's go back to, let's go right there. There's another view. MapRight's cool because you can do different base maps to get different views, but here you can see that this large area, this is what the topo was showing us, was open meadow at one point. So I mean, a lot of different options. You could, if you wanted to, you could take a tractor and brush hog and sneak back behind these trees, open all this up. I mean, we're all about private building sites or campsites, and that would be an ideal one with minimal work, is to go back there and clean this up and have a large site completely out of view of the road. Now let's zoom out here. Okay, so this is County Road 126. It shows as 121 on this map, but I believe it's 126. And let's go way out so you can really see what's going on. Okay, there we go. So this is Highway 76 toward the bottom. Take that east out of Ava. This is Bryant Creek, which is pretty much exactly 10 miles east on 76. Now you keep going east another 1.5 miles, and that's going to bring you right here to County Road 126. And that's what you're going to take north for, I believe, about 3 miles, and then you go right on the gravel easement road, and then really pretty much right at the property after a few hundred feet from there. So super cool. Let's hit street map so we can really show the area. Okay, I know this is getting longer than I anticipated. This is Ava right here. Again, here's the property. Here's Ava, Mansfield. If you're coming from the north, you can go down from Mansfield, or you can go down from Norwood. It just depends on which direction you're coming from. And then our office in Springfield is right over here on the left side of the map. So Springfield's a little over an hour, but awesome area. To the south, you've got Branson, you've got some lakes directly south. But anyway, nice property, nice area. That was meant to be a short introductory video, but hopefully it was helpful to some people. So we're up in the air, we're looking north, the land is on the right, so the truck is parked directly on the property. It's the middle of winter in this video, but normally that would be a meadow where the truck is parked. Okay, so now we're looking north. We're about to check out the pond. So the southwest side of the property is where you'll find the large level area, the open meadow situation, and in a moment the pond. So the bulk of this property was just logged, and it looks like they scraped some grass off that meadow, but it will grow back. Here's the pond. Really nice pond. It was unusually cold in the Ozarks for a couple days. when we did this video, so the pond actually has ice on it. But you can see where the water level normally would be in the spring, and in the summer on that pond there would be more water. But it's a really nice pond. We went and walked over and checked it out. Huge dam. I mean, someone really built it properly when they did that pond years ago. Okay, so we're getting an overview here. Interesting property. Part of it was heavily logged, which opened up some areas and gave it some trails. There's a ton of cedar tree on the property, which was not logged. And there is some hardwood left as well, but the east side of the property, well, you can see right there where the logging was. So this was recently logged, obviously. But look at that logged area on the right, and then go to the left. There's a bunch of hardwood there that wasn't touched for whatever reason. So this property kind of is a mixture of everything. The pasture you see on the right is just to the east of the property. So that's what that's what you could turn this into. And actually the first step in that is removing the bigger timber, and that's done already. So if you're looking for some place with potential pasture, you're halfway home. So now as we look to the west on the north side, you can see there's quite a bit of timber left on this north side and northwest side. Really interesting property. Going into this, even this very first spring, things are going to look a lot different. It's the first winter after a property's logged that things kind of look their worst, and that's where we are right now with this video. So within a couple years, the tops and the limbs that were left, they're going to rot away. The remaining trees are going to grow like gangbusters without the competition from the other trees. Here's a pretty good aerial. We're more or less over the north end looking south, so you can see some good timber on the bottom right. You can see all the cedar trees, which more or less weren't touched. I mean, maybe some were taken, but there are hundreds of good cedars left. The pond is tucked in there within those cedar trees. So it's situated left of the road as we look to the south here. Awesome opportunity to do a cabin or a home or a homestead, possibly a cattle ranch. I mean, that would be excellent pasture land. You can see on the left side of the screen on the neighbor's property, he's removed the trees and turned that into pasture at some point. It's gorgeous. This is a beautiful area. You'll see so much wildlife out here, deer, turkey. It's named Bobcat Hollow because one of the guys did see a beautiful spotted bobcat out here. We're kind of headed back toward the truck. But it's a good mix of level area and area that slopes a little bit. The topo map indicates a small creek bed at the southeast side. We really didn't check that out on foot or with the drone. It would definitely be a wet weather creek. But the topo map shows there's something there. Could be a spring. I mean, this area is well known for a lot of springs. In fact, there's a good spring just about an eighth of a mile to the west of this property, so it's definitely an area for that. Nice tract. Check us out at InstantAcres.com. It can be tricky to find something with a good pond, but here you go.